This episode of American Landlord, a Tenant horror story, is presented by RealSerious.com, where you can screen tenants 24 hours a day. Everything was off to a great start. A nice house with a basement had been rented to what appeared to be a normal family with a few kids and a dog. The landlord was content with his choice, the vacancy was filled, and life was good. The tenancy went on for several years without any major complaints. They didn't bother the landlord, and the landlord didn't bother them. After all, the rent was being paid. But unfortunately, all good things have to come to an end, as it did with this tenancy, when the rent checks stopped arriving. Faced with his own expenses and no alternatives, the landlord had to file to evict the family in order to regain control of the house. It ended up taking several weeks, but the landlord finally won. And now, it was time to visit the property and do the cleanout. As he arrived at the house, he entered the front door and, surprisingly, its condition wasn't that bad. It seemed like it would be a normal cleanout, maybe just a few days worth of work and it'll be back on the market. But as he continued making his way through the house, he eventually came upon the basement stairwell. Naturally, he had to inspect. So as he made his way down to the bottom of the stairs, he then soon discovered this family was anything but normal. You know how he knew that? Because they permitted the dog to shit in the basement, not just once or twice, but apparently every damn day. And to top it off, literally, they covered up each shit pile with paint. That's right. So as the dog shit, they'd pour on the paint, and this went on for years. Layer by layer, the dog would shit. They'd pour on more paint. It was a dog shit latex lasagna about 4 feet high, and it covered the entire basement floor. It took several weeks for air hammers and chisels to chew through this massive main course, but the meal wasn't over yet. It was then time for dessert. You see, the basement had a storage closet which had been blocked by the layers of dog shit and paint except for a small opening on top. And that's when dessert had been served. The landlord opened the closet and the entire space was filled with loaded diapers because the parents pushed them through the small opening every single shittin' day. So if you ever rent your house to a nice family, you better invite yourself over for dinner once in a while to make sure they're not making a dog shit latex lasagna with a dirty diaper dessert.